Hey, how's it going everyone? Tayson here, and today I'm going to show you all through some games of mine that I've beaten multiple times. So this is a tag response. I've been tagged by the TheRetroSocialWorkGameHunter. He's an awesome guy and a really great channel. I highly recommend you check him out in the link below. We met about on YouTube at least about 6 months ago. We've been chatting. We started our channel around the same time. And it was just by coincidence that we sort of, I think we did a similar, the same topic. It was one of our collections. And because of that, we showed up in each other's feeds. So through there, we've just been chatting on YouTube, doing pickup videos, etc. And he does really great pickup videos. He goes a lot into all his different collections as well, and also like the prices he gets all his items for. And I've said this before, I mean, they're unbelievable the amount he gets some of his things for. So if you really like those sort of videos, please check him out regardless. And yeah, let's kick things off. So first game on the list, this is probably one of my best friends in terms of games, and that is Pokemon Red. This is still my original Red version from a child, and this is where it all began for me in terms of my gaming interest and all the games behind me. JRPG, it was a handheld, and I just got hooked. I don't know how to explain it, and yeah, it's one of those games that will sit through me always. Second on the list, and that is Star Wars Rogue Squadron. This is a game I beat several times growing up, but I never owned the copy that I was beating. I always used to borrow it from several friends. I'd beat it, and I loved the game so much. And back then, internet wasn't as widely accessible as it is now. I don't know whether the internet was really a thing back then. I'm sure it was, but in terms of like in our household, I don't think we had internet back then. So I guess in terms of secrets and stuff in games, there was this it's like this unknown, like, is there secret places here, is there secret levels? You don't know. So it was just a matter of I wanted to keep going through the game and sort of finding more and trying new things. And I think, yeah, that was one of the greatest things I loved about exploration in games back in the 90s. It was really like this raw sensation of, is there something there or isn't there? And you just had to explore. And I mean, nowadays it's a lot easier if you go through a guide and stuff, but that was something I so much loved, and it's such a nostalgic feel when I play this game again. So yeah, that's the second game. Third game on the list is Spyro the Dragon. This is a game I first beat through a rental copy, and this is my original copy. So when I got this a few years ago, I went back through and beat it. Love the game. The original Spyro series, 1 to 3 I've played. I haven't played the others or the remake, but they've just got such a great, what's the word, not nostalgic, but just memorable childhood to me playing the Spyro games. And the same goes with the Crash games. Unfortunately, I don't have any Crash games anymore, but they're actually also games I've been multiple times. I don't know about Crash 1, but I know I've beaten Crash 2 and Crash 3 Warped, is that the one it's called? Been there multiple times because I used to own them, and yeah, I just love the Spyro Crash series. Moving on, so this is sort of a game that sort of continued on from the Crash Spyro sort of platforming genre, and that is Ratchet and Clank. This is a game, what I love about this game is it's one that beating it a first time opens up a whole new way to play it the second time. Basically, unlockables, ways you earn bolts, etc. is much faster, and challenges and everything. So when I beat this game, I just had to go back and play it through a second time. Possibly I've been it a third time, not too sure, but regardless, the original Ratchet and Clank on PS2, if you get this or the PS3 remaster 1, 2 and 3, please, yeah, definitely give them a go if they're just sitting there in your collection. And moving on, a game that is also very dear to me and is my favourite game series / equally favourite with the Final Fantasy series, and that is Kingdom Hearts 1. First beat this game when it was released. I got it, beat it within the week. I just got a PS2 as well then. And then last year or a few years ago, I then went back and re-beat it on the Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 remix. So this is the final mix version. So it's the same game as this, but it's got extras in it. And then obviously being the PS3 remaster, obviously everything's a bit better. So I couldn't not go back through it and play it again, and definitely well worth it, because this time I went back through and I spent more time playing it. I fought all the secret bosses, beat them all, I unlocked a lot more things, so I've pretty much completed everything there is to do in the game besides the PlayStation trophies. But yeah, moving on. Another game, you could technically say I've been this multiple times, and that is Destiny. When I say technically, I mean the original campaign and story. Since then there have been expansion packs and stuff, so it's not really a game that you can essentially sort of beat multiple times, if that makes sense. But yeah, I would just go through every character, Titan, Hunter, Warlock, beat the main campaign. I used to do it multiple. I've done it more than just 3 times, and that was because at the end, every week you could do sort of special quests and stuff, and they were sort of locked to be only able to do once a week. So me and several friends, what we do is we delete our character, and then make a new character just so then we could redo those special quests at the end, and then hopefully have a chance to get a really good weapon. And it worked out in many cases, but now looking back, it's not something that I want to just go and casually do, because there are so many other games I can put that time into. So now I'm going to continue on with some games that I no longer own or just can't find with me. First is Pokemon Gold. This is the last Pokemon game that I got growing up as a child, and I'd beaten it on every single starter Pokemon, and then I think I've gone back and beaten them on the same starter Pokemons again just to do things differently. Absolutely loved it, just like Pokemon Red, and definitely there's a lot of replayability in Pokemon games. That's what I love about them. I love that variety. You can always go back and you find different Pokemon and stuff. So definitely, if you haven't played Pokemon, give it a go. Next is Donkey Kong 64. This is one of the games I regrettably traded in as a child. And I beat this at least 2 to 3 times, and it was just because, similar to my story with Star Wars Rogue Squadron, I wanted to find out whether there were secret bosses and other secrets in the game that I hadn't yet found and explored, so I just kept going back through, and I think I found like new things in the second playthrough and stuff, but it turns out like I didn't really find like many secret bosses or anything. I know there was one I found, but that was actually I found through a what's it called, like a little game guide that came with a magazine. But still, I like that there was some secrets to that game. Continuing on, Star Wars, I beat Rebel Assault and Rebel Assault 2 on the PC an endless amount of times. This is a game that I play with the keyboard, with the joystick. It was one of those games that I didn't have many Star Wars games growing up, but Star Wars is one of my favorite shows as a child, and still is a show that I absolutely love so much. And it was just to be in that universe, playing a game and feeling like you're in a TIE fighter and stuff. I absolutely loved it. So it was definitely a game that, even looking back now, I'm sure the controls probably don't hold up that well, but I still get this itch to just go back and download the game and play it again. So we'll see. And also, Super Mario 64. This is a game that the first time I beat it, it was a friend's copy, and I beat it together with a friend. I used to go over and we'd play through the levels and, finally get to the end and beat it. And then after that, I would just sort of randomly go through, certain worlds and stuff on his copy and beat them again. Go through Bowser again. But recently, I got it on the Wii U Virtual Console, and then I beat it myself the whole way through. So I was like, now it feels like I've truly beaten the game. So it was definitely a great feeling. But yeah, I'm sure there are other games that I've beaten multiple times, like as a child. Like, I'm just trying to think on the Super Nintendo and 64, that games that I don't own, but I'd beaten through other people that are just not coming to my mind right now. But that's basically a list of the games that I have beaten twice that I own. Oh, actually, there is one more. How could I forget this one? So this is the game that I should remember first, and that is Final Fantasy X-2. So Final Fantasy X is my favorite Final Fantasy game in the series. It's one of my favorite games of all time, and when I got Final Fantasy X-2, I got it on release. I played it all the way through, and I had an idea about an extra ending you could get that really links up to Final Fantasy X. I won't give any spoilers or anything, but I beat the game and I didn't get the ending, and I was absolutely like what's the word, confused. And then it turned out that I didn't have a high enough percentage, so I missed out on it. So it was like there was nothing stopping me. I instantly went straight back into playing the whole game again, and this time I got with me, I purchased the complete strategy guide, and I went through with the strategy guide on this second playthrough, and I 100%ed the whole game. I got complete every single thing you can do that contributes to the percentage, and then I finally got that ending, and another ending after that. And I'm just trying to think how many hours I played. I think in total on my memory card, last time I checked, it was 137 hours or something I put into this game. So of all the games I've beaten twice, this is actually the one I've spent the most time on playing. So yeah, definitely that should be first on my list. But regardless, it's a very memorable experience, and one that I really enjoyed playing through the game again. And I think that's one of the great things about video games is that there are so many games out there that, you know, you can play a game through once and you have such a great experience, and you can leave it at that. You know, obviously now as we get older, it's a bit harder to play through games again. But in going back and replaying a game a second time, you actually experience the game somewhat differently. You know, maybe you make different decisions, especially now with all these open world games, or you find new things, or maybe you just put that extra effort in because you know the story and you can spend more time on sort of the grinding and stuff. And yeah, it's just I'm sure there, you know, as time goes on with the size of these games that are coming out now and the way that sort of the player choices affect it, I'm sure there are endless ways to beat games. But you know, in terms of games that sort of have one set story path and stuff, I enjoyed that when I went through the second time. I was able to focus more on sort of the optional sort of grinding and secret bosses. But yeah, anyways, that does it for games I've beaten multiple times. So I would like to now tag one person. I'd like to tag John from Gaming Through the Decades. I also recommend you check his channel out, especially if you love pickups. He does a lot of great pickup videos and stuff. Also going through collections, and a lot of, I noticed he's doing a lot of like reviews now, and he puts in loads of sort of what's the word, like gameplay uploads and stuff, and sort of interweaves it. And the editing is really good. So if you really enjoy sort of, you know, reviews and pickups, etc., I highly recommend you check his channel out. But yeah, anyways, that does it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for sharing and subscribing. And until next video, stay spot on.